All right, here we go. What is up, guys? Andrew here, and welcome to Comicbooker, all things comics from a creator. So tonight, um, we are gonna be working on my graphic novel Secret Heart Attack. I'm on issue 2. Here is page 1, and I just need to. I haven't been able to do a lot of work on this in the past week, so I need to sort of force myself to get on it. So part of this live stream is to kind of just kickstart it. Hopefully, I know it's a weird time, but hopefully I'll see a bunch of you guys pop in. If not, it's cool. I'm still gonna work anyway. I figured too, since we worked really well with music last time, I'm just gonna start it. So I'm gonna have music here, and I'm gonna check the chat semi-regularly if you guys pop in. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you're drawing along. What's up, Mattersource Studio? Let me know the music's okay, volume-wise. Actually, I'm gonna lower it a little bit. And we're gonna go in to page 2. Oh, Mattersource Studios, you flatter me. Thank you so much. That means a lot. There's many better ones than me. So here we are, and we are working on page 2, and this is a really crazy page. A lot going on, lots of dialogue, and my plan here was to basically do something along the lines of Grant Morrison's JLA, but in comicsy form. So what's going on here is we are seeing the curvature of the planet Earth, and above it we have the superhero um, Mother Earth sort of flying above it. And she's sort of this eco hero who plays a pivotal role in the story later on. So I'm having a lot of fun kind of laying her out. She she's sort of like a Captain Planet type character with lots of ties to the Earth and how the Earth works. And she's really powerful, but also really vulnerable because, she's tied to the Earth. So, yeah, she's kind of like, she serves the Wonder Woman role in my story. I needed a really strong female superhero that would fit that archetype, and she fits the bill really well. We're gonna throw some clouds here. I kind of did this trick in a commission recently with these clouds, and they're not realistic at all. But I thought they look really cool. They're sort of like manga Studio Ghibli style clouds. Um, I really like drawing them. I think they're super fun because they give a sense of motion without much effort. All right, so here is. I think I'm gonna have her face in the sky, but I'm not sure. Maybe I will. Yeah, let's just throw it in there anyway. And this is gonna be like a ghost, like a communications ghost. Because she is simultaneously battling these cybernetic invaders while talking to Red Thunder. And what's tricky with her is she is a plus sized woman, like proportion wise. Um, I wanted to kind of step aside from the the standard superhero female physique. But the part of the tricky thing with that is there's kind of a balance, and there's a lot of curves to manage with her design. And I'm not the best at curves. I'm more of an angular artist. I'm good at like this type of jagged line, you know. My hand just does it naturally. There's some people who are really really good at making curves, but I struggle with that. So, but still, this is what the character needs, so I'm gonna do my best for her. Okay, I think that's more or less good to start. That's that, and then this is that. Since we are having a good time on stream, I figure maybe I'll take these to a bit more of a finish. That way it's gonna be a bit more fun. And let's get this looking really really good. This panel first, the action panel, which I really like. By the way, I really enjoy the radial structure of the layouts on this page. I think it's really good, and shows sort of the time when these characters were in a lot more harmony. Actually, let me undo my iPad from the keyboard and just hold it because I can, because it's streaming. And I hope you're enjoying, hope you're drawing along. Tonight is actually like a really good test because we are I'm technically not at home. I am dog sitting for my brother. Um, so this is kind of a good test of my mobile setup, you know. I wanted to foreshorten this hand and just much better this way. Let's do it that way. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm live streaming from a remote location, not my studio. I'm at my brother's place in Manhattan. Um, and I have a little dog here who I'm watching over, so I get to do this work while making sure the puppy is okay. It's actually really cool. This is like my ideal Friday night. As much as like I can hear people, New York City people, outside the window, sort of going out, partying, drinking, and all that stuff. Nothing makes me quite as happy as just spending a chill night drawing. So the thing about Mother Earth is she has this hair, like clouds, And it's a very weird design element because I have to treat it like cartoon clouds, you know, otherwise it won't move like hair. But at the same time, it's got to read like clouds, so there's a bunch of curvy shapes that I have to make sure I land in the design. I'm almost treating it like foam, you know. Let's do that. Nice curve there. Curves are so hard. So what I'm gonna do is I'm switching it. The reason I rotate so much, especially when I'm doing curves, is it's just so much easier when you draw the curve along the axis of how your hand normally pivots, you know, like that. You don't want to draw a curve against this rotation, right? Like if you draw it concave. So that's why we make the drawing upside down. And it mimics what you would do with a piece of paper, where you would rotate it also, just so you can get the right motion in. There we go. There's a lot of foreshortening here as her body, her stomach moves away from the camera. Gotta be careful about that. I think the leg is weirdly placed. We're gonna move it here. Um, I'm also trying to avoid tangents, but that's almost unavoidable with some of this stuff. So, like that leg's not working. Wait, give me a sec. I'm gonna go back. Thank God for undo states. Like it would go in further, like something like that. There we go. Something like that. Yep, I think that works. Let's flip it just to see if it looks fine. This is always a good check. Neil Francis, you taught me this. Flip your drawing so you can see if there are any errors. Because sometimes, you get myopic about it. And there I can see a couple of things. Like the wrist has to be thinner, this palm actually is smaller. And I think I think I've over rendered this breast, so let's keep it a little tighter. I think that's better. Ooh. Curves are hard, guys. Sometimes you just shave it down like this to fake a perfect stroke. Where technique fails, just get your eye to get your line to look the way it should look to your eye, and that does the trick half the time. By the way, I'm super excited because next week is the launch of my first comic for DC. It's called Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Shazamily Matters, and it's this it's an anthology, like a 96-page supersized anthology, which has all these stories by all these professional artists, and I'm one of them. I'm so excited because they sent complimentary copies. I haven't seen them because they're at my real apartment, but I can't wait to see that. I'm probably gonna make a video about that. Hopefully, I'll have time for it this weekend. We'll see. And it's probably good to make her a little thicker in terms of outline because she is the most foregrounded character in this panel. And thicker lines push a figure forward, thinner lines push it backward, so you want to have that balance. All right, that's pretty good. Now we go thinner, and I want to start tackling some of these characters here. So this is an evil alien AI sentience that read a copy of Mother Goose and decided to pattern its body after the Mother Goose characters in the storybook. Which is why the first page has all these crazy fairy tale characters. It's Mother Goose. And you'll notice a theme. I don't know if it's obvious already. Like, I have Mother Earth, I have Mother Goose. I have a very strong mother theme going out through the book because the mother of the main character is, the story is about the character dealing with the loss of his father. But part of the darkness going through is like kind of the villainization of his mother. Um, and so, I mean, it goes through it plot wise in the story, but also it's kind of nice to reflect it in the themes of like the superhero weird stuff that we're doing, since it can basically hold almost any type of metaphor. And so I'm making sure, we have that. And the thing about this creature is it's starting to lose coherence in this panel. So I want to give just enough to make the reader see what form it was taking, but also show just enough of its form starting to fray and lose coherence. So we have the Mother Goose flying there, and we're also gonna have this really cool Cyclops character here on the right. And honestly, I'm gonna start putting techno-organic lines on this Mother Goose character. It's just so it really feels like it's technological, even though the shapes are like fairy tale. I imagine there's like a grid of lines, and I'm just following it through. It doesn't have to be perfect too, because because it's an organic and yet technological. It's a techno-organic form. Oops. We're gonna add sparkly doodads and other things to this when we go into colors, so it'll look even more techy. Oh, it's so hard to ink this properly. There we go. That should do it. Now onto the Cyclops character. Good, and I'm also trying to think of like what is the most cliched standard idea of what a Cyclops is, and I'm trying to draw it that way. So no funky stuff, no mashing it up with like I don't know, an armadillo or something like that, which would make it more interesting. It's gotta look like a classic children's storybook. Charles, hey Charles, welcome. Matterstar Studios asks, is this Secret Heart Attack issue 2? This is Secret Heart Attack issue 2. This is page 2 of issue 2. Charles is asking, can you reframe the camera to see me a bit better? Well, I can't really, but I can move in here just so like I'm more centered, you know what I mean? Yes, I am planning a toga for the Cyclops, and that's so it looks like it was, yeah, drawn by a 1980s illustrator who had to pay the bills and was doing it for the money and didn't pour too much thought into what it would look like. It reminds me too of like colorist, I think his name is Jamie Grant. Yeah, Jamie Grant, who colored All-Star Superman, and he was talking about how the style of coloring for that book was to try to make it as essential as possible. So where you're trying to make it universal, and what is the local color of this object that you're coloring, what is the universal version of it, rather than getting funky, because skin tones can be blue or it can be red depending on what the light is in the environment, right? And he was like, nope, I'm taking inspiration from Tintin, or Tantan as it's pronounced in some areas, and I am making sure everything is kind of flattened essentially. And I feel that way about this like when you're trying to do a cliche fairy tale type thing, everything's gotta be essentialized. What is the purest form that people would understand? Okay, there's our Cyclops character. He's a robot actually. Oh, and let's do some fun stuff. Let's put like spikes on the club. Just a little extra. This is like one of those things you'll only ever draw for one panel, so we're gonna make him cool. Have you read Superior Spider-Man? Juan Jose is asking, what did you think of it? Uh-oh. I don't think we're seeing what you're seeing. Let me check Reflector. Hmm. All right, let's do this again. Oh, I see what happened. I'm so sorry, guys. My sleep turned on, and it disconnected me from the iPad. So now let me just reconnect. My sleep focus turned on, and that sort of screwed it up. Let's bring this back. Yeah, that's the problem with like. There we go. I think that's back. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that again. Yeah. Sorry about that. Technical glitch. Thank you, Bart. So yeah, Juan Jose asked, "Have I read Superior Spider-Man?" Yes, I have. That is, I've read Dan Slott's entire 10 years Spider-Man run, through the ups and the downs. I really enjoyed Superior. I thought it was a good inversion of the Spider-Man concept, and a nice way to kind of refresh the property, like see it go in a weird pseudo villainous direction for a little bit, because eventually he'd have to put it back, everything back where it was. But during that period, it was a really fun, wild ride. I loved all the stuff with the Horizon Labs, all the tech. I like Anna Marie, the supporting character. And I just really like getting into like Otto Octavius's mindset as a Spider-Man villain. He was never really a sympathetic character, but somehow that series found a way to get into his head in a way that made me feel for him for a little bit. Plus, I think that was like Ryan Stegman's one of his breakout projects as an artist. He's gone on to be like the artist on Venom, King in Black, and those things. He has some really good dynamic art, sort of in the family of like Joe Madureira manga influenced artwork. So yeah, Superior Spider-Man was great. Here we go. All right, and then now, so first I gotta get that cloud in. This Ghibli cloud. And that's gonna be fun to color later on. Ah. And now I can draw the Cyclops properly beneath that. And my thinking is, because it's such a huge character, it's actually standing, um, like rising out of the ocean. So you see its legs sort of splashing here, Godzilla style. There we go. And then lastly, let's start making it lose integrity over here. I think of it like waves of nanoparticles that are going wackadoodle as the proceedings proceed. The heroes have sort of found a way to undo the concentration of this like massive artificial intelligence. So all of its projections have started to fall apart. And then a little techno organic Jack Kirby-esque lines here. All right. Looks killer, Andrew. Thanks, Charles. Matter Source Studio says, I'm actually writing a comic about a new hero team. It will be published. It's called The Survivors. Awesome. Um, can you leave a link in the chat, Matter Source, just so people can check it out? Yeah, I'd love to see what you're working on. I always say there's like a shocking amount of overlooked artwork out there because artists are shy and artists don't want to, or feel like they're not ready or not good enough. Um, but usually they're the worst critics and judges of their own work. So like sometimes you look at it and you're like, actually, it's not as bad as you say. Um, and you should be showing more people. You know what I mean? Like, so whenever I meet a new artist, I'm like, show me your stuff. I want to see. This is just like a Disney style Tweety bird, like a bluebird or something like that, like a songbird maybe. But it's kind of faced backwards, so you can't really see its cartooniness, but it's there. And then now I just remembered what Mother Earth's supposed to be doing here. This face in the sky is actually a panel that's inset into the background. But we're gonna draw it in anyway. But I'm gonna use thinner lines just so it recedes. Part of me is like trying to imagine the comic that is unseen, the rest of the comic, because this is like a 3-page sequence, but I'm trying to imagine that there was like maybe a 3-issue altercation that preceded these 3 pages, and we're just stepping in for the most interesting climactic part of the whole thing. But there was a lot of build up and all that stuff. So it's that fun game of pretend where you're like imagining a series that was never actually produced. It lives in your head. And then here is the tip of that iceberg. The part that you can see in reality. It's just peeking out of the ocean of this little indie comic book. Robert Buckley, welcome to the stream. Had the bright idea to draw my own comic on Procreate. Good lord, I had no idea how much work it is. You're telling me? Oh my god! Like, yeah, I empathize. That's a lot of work. Coloring is by far the hardest part for me. I didn't even know what color theory was before starting my comic love. Well, it's good to learn on the job, you know. They say you retain information best when you are putting it into practical use as you absorb it, you know. So what's good about you working on a comic right now, while you're while you're learning, is as you encounter problems, you're gonna learn lessons that will solve those problems, and you'll just retain that info faster. There we go. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a color hold on this part, this face that's sort of hanging here, just so it recedes properly into the background. I'm worried about the anatomy of the face, so I'm just gonna flip it to check. Yeah, it's not quite lining up. I'm gonna do a thing here where I drag this eye to the proper place where I think it would land. I think there's better. We're just gonna erase in here so that it all works better. In the olden days, I'd have to redraw that completely. It should be super rough. But now I'm kind of like, you can move things around. It's kind of great when you meet like a problem like that. Okay, so we have the faces, the main figures drawn. That's good. I don't know if I should, but I'll try. I'm gonna start erasing into this line here. And as I do that, I can see a bit of a tangent with the Cyclops' forearm. So I'm gonna deal with that right now as I go. Better to make it like a little thicker. Give it like a Jovarian vibe, you know. There we go. Much better. Okay, let's get those clouds in, and then we can start moving onto other panels. Feeling good, feeling good. Let's get this in. I'm gonna leave it like that. And then we're gonna make sure this cloud here, it's a little too neat. I'm gonna make it smaller so that there's a bit more space between this and the Cyclops, so it doesn't look as manufactured. Same thing with this cloud here near Mother Goose. Clouds are so fun to draw. We're gonna draw a few more up here. Oh, the chat really popped off. Oh, that's good. I love hearing this stuff. Nice. I gotta catch up with the chat at some point. It's nice to hear you guys talking about your work. Okay, I guess that panel's done. Hey baby, you wanna say hi to people? Guys, you gotta say hi to Dante. Dante, come. I know. Hi, say hi. Everyone, this is Dante. He's a schnauzer. He's 3.5 years old. And he's my inspiration for this page. Right? You're helping me out. Come on, go to your bed. Good boy. All right, let's get back to it. What's more fun? I'm gonna draw this panel. This is more fun. So this is the main antagonist of the graphic novel. His name is Unmaker, and we've already met him in the first issue, but the second issue is where you start seeing the layers. Because as he initially comes off as this very cliched edgelord emo superhero, sort of like Spawn. But you start seeing like multiple sides of him. And whenever I think of Spawn, I think of like the Batman archetype. You know, the tortured crusader of the night. I feel like Spawn owes a lot to Batman in terms of becoming that type of archetype. So I'm kind of mixing and matching them without like 100% replicating them, because that would be like a copyright problem, right? But hopefully I've included enough like design cues to make you feel like it's Spawn, you know, so that people get the reference. Robert's asking, I saw your video the other day about the book you finished in Procreate. Where can I order that at? There's a link in the description. It's available on my website. I don't know if you're in the US. If you are in the US, shipping should be fine. Shipping abroad, I've sent copies to Australia and the Philippines. It's a little expensive, so if you're abroad and you know it's a little much, just get the digital version. I've also included that so you can just download it. Yeah, I gotta figure out shipping. You know, that's the downside to not having a publisher, like dealing with all this like um, stuff you never think of as a comics fan. You know, like who's doing the order numbers, who's doing the invoices, like how many books are we printing, what's cost effective, uh, how do you talk to individual shops, you know, how do you get shipping that's affordable and feasible. It's like it's a lot of stuff you don't want to think about, but you have to if you're self-publishing. um, and honestly, that's the reason I self-publish. I didn't pitch this to a publisher because I was thinking I want to learn that whole process, because I feel like in the world of comics, especially, like self-publishing is such a wonderful thing. It's like a badge of honor if you're able to self-publish something, because it's so hard. The other thing is it really makes you appreciate the work that a publisher does. So when you're able to actually work on a publisher, with an editor, people who like keep the trains running, you really, really appreciate it, because that's a lot of legwork. That's a lot of boring, hard work that a lot of people are often not appreciated for. You know. Like editors have such a hard job. Robert Buckley's asking, hey, do you color your pages in sRGB or CMYK? I color them in CMYK, and actually, if you look here at my canvas info, let's bring that up here. The color profile is already set to a generic CMYK profile. Can you see that? Oh man, reflector pooped out again. Sorry about that. Let me reconnect. Whew. Sorry guys. Technical difficulties. Just keep drawing while I try to get my iPad back online. Darn it. There we go. Alright. I'm getting the screen code. 4385. Whew, okay. Sorry about that. Darn it. I wish this was a little more reliable. I am gonna figure this out so that future streams don't have this issue. Alright, now we're back. Sort of. If you guys have suggestions for iPad streaming software that you recommend, I'd appreciate it. So anyway, oh yeah, Robert was asking about CMYK, and here is the canvas info, and if you look at the color profile, you can see generic CMYK profile up here. And the reason you want to do CMYK over RGB, okay, one little thing about both, right? RGB is the spectrum of light that you see on computer monitors and in your phone screen and basically anything that's made up of light, right? And it's a bigger spectrum of colors, like way bigger than you would get from CMYK. CMYK is named for cyan, magenta, yellow, and K for black, which is confusing, but that's just how it is. And that delineates sort of like printing plates, right? One for cyan, one for magenta, one for yellow, and one for black. And the reason you want to work in CMYK is because the gamut is smaller, so you're actually, if you're planning to print it, you will have a way more realistic view of what your final page is going to look at like, even though you're working on it, working with it on a screen. So that's why they recommend CMYK. Now, I don't think this is like super important if you're maybe doing a webcomic, like working for Tapas or Line Webtoon or something like that, where the format is 100% digital. It's always going to be seen on computer screens. It doesn't really matter too hard. But if there's even the possibility that you're going to go into print, it's better to work in CMYK. Because you're just going to see. The other thing is, if you get this weird stuff, you can always translate a CMYK file to an RGB file into CMYK. Sorry, give me a sec. You can always translate a CMYK file into RGB and it will look the same. But when you color in RGB and then make it CMYK after, you get weird artifacts from the colors that fell out of gamut, right? So it's not gonna look the way you expect. And that's why they always say to color in CMYK. I colored this book in the first issue. Let me just show that. Here's the first issue. Kind of a quick preview of what that looks like. And I did this all in CMYK. And it really, when it went into print, it preserved all of my colors in a really nice way. So yeah, that's why I recommend it. Any case, I feel like my Procreate is gonna crash, so let's bring it back. There we go. And let's get back to this. He's also, this guy, this Unmaker guy, he's also got like a bit of Ghost Rider vibes, which I like. Again, when I think of Spawn, I also think of like how much he owes an allegiance to Ghost Rider, not just Batman. And it's part of that crew of like, I someone's gonna kill me for this, but people think of it as like I think of it in my head as like Bible comics, because the narrative of like Ghost Rider and Spawn with Mephisto and Malbolgia, it's keyed to the narrative um, setups of the Holy Bible, like the Abrahamic religions. So the whole Faustian deal with the devil, that type of thing, it comes from biblical tradition. So you have all these superheroes or super characters who spring out of that, and it makes sense to me because the Bible, if you look at it as a mythology, it's quite full of awesome stuff. It's got angels, it's got demons, it's got Nephilim, which are like the hybrid of angels and mankind. That is one of the main reasons God had to flood the earth in the Old Testament, and they were just monsters. It was super cool. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's not talk about Catechism here, but Catechism does factor into this character a lot. Like literally the first page is him shouting in an abandoned cathedral, so I'm not being very subtle there. Yeah, Robert, do stuff about the Nephilim. That's super cool. um, there's a lot. There's a lot of things in between the lines that you could do with that concept, like the children of angels and man that were never meant to be. Uh, I think it has a lot of legs. If you read Jason Aaron's The Goddamned, it's set during that period of Noah's Ark with the Nephilim and stuff, but the designs aren't as cool as they are in my brain. I'm sure you can come up with even cooler stuff. So. Ooh, I feel so productive. This is good. And then after this, I'm probably gonna wrap up in like 15, if that's cool with you guys. And then I'm gonna do my Marvel Snap missions for the evening. Like get me some credits, and then go to bed. But first, I wanna get this panel sorted. For those of you drawing along, I hope you're doing some really cool work. I'm excited. Just a reminder, do tag me. I love seeing what people work on along with me during the streams, If you post it, I mean. And that's the chains done. And then we're gonna go for this. I mean, it's going away from the camera, so it's not gonna be as this sort of chest plate design element here. We're not gonna see the rough bottom part of it, but we get to see these spikes up here, which are cool. I like spikes. It's like perfect for this type of character where it's just like vicious. Vicious! And yeah, I'm really excited to see this character in issue 2 because he has like a backwards, at least the way I've been writing it, he has a backward story arc where he comes off as this like horrible, horrible, monstrous character. Um, but and he's the main antagonist, so he really should, right? But we peel the layers back as the story progresses, and he becomes more and more, I wouldn't say sympathetic, but understandable. Alright, that's feeling good. I'm gonna do some tiny lines here. I'm not sure how I did it the first time, but I'm gonna wing it. This is probably better just blacked out. I'm gonna black it out. Boom, like that. It's a lot simpler. That's not quite right. We're gonna fix that. Something like that. Oh yeah, so sorry. While I still have some of you guys here, um, I wanted to say, if you are near a comic shop this coming Wednesday, um, go pick up Shazam Fury of the Gods, Shazamily Matters, and check out my comic there. Because I'm super proud of it. The writer, Josh Trujillo, who I just played Marvel Snap with before this live stream, he wrote such a good story with actor Ross Butler, and it's inspired by Bill Watterson's Calvin and Hobbes. So anyway, check it out. I'm super proud of it. Robert Buckley says, "Hey man, I'm about to jump off here, but I enjoyed this, brother. Do these lives a lot. I'll jump on support anytime I see you. It's good to get help and ideas with talented people. Thanks, guys." Robert, peace. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy. I hope you got some good artwork done, and I wish you the best with all your work. Yeah. I'm also gonna wrap up in like 3 minutes, so um, I just want to finish this panel. I usually try to keep the lives to like an hour, but my last live was like 3 hours, and I really enjoyed it. I just like going long. I mean, I'm not gonna do that. I promise. I won't like go super long as much as possible, but I'll try once in a while to. It's just nice to zone out for 3 hours, but you know, I also kind of want to respect people's time, so we'll find a balance. We'll find a balance. You know, sometimes you get in the zone and you just don't want to stop. It's so sad. It's so heartbreaking to stop. But real life. We all have real lives. You gotta. You can't just draw comics as much as you want to just draw comics. There's always something else. Like puppies. All right, that's looking good. I think I'm happy with that. That's a good panel. 2 panels, about half the page done. We're gonna get into this a bit more. I might do another session. I'm teaching tomorrow night. I might do another session Sunday, maybe, or Monday. We'll see. Um, but thank you so much for joining this live stream. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some good work done. Matter Source Studios, thank you for being here. And thank you for following along. I hope you all have a good weekend. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.